What are we carving? Well, we're carving these little guys here. Little 3-inch by 1 thugs. The thuggy collection here. I get about 4 more of them maybe. So we got a piece of 1 by 1. This is 6 inches. You can see I put the split line here at the 3-inch mark. And we're going to carve another one of these little guys. So stay tuned. Man, I really need to get a new mat. This thing is all over. Or put something else down there. Maybe just get rid of it altogether, eh? I mean, it is really, really warped. What do we turn it over? Put the bulge on the other side, I guess. Nah, that ain't no better. We'll just get it out of here. I hate it when I can't stand my people up. Well, they're probably not. They're not going to stand there either. Yeah, I was out here the other day and I decided to actually make Kevin a little violin. Wah, 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 wah. Hey, Tarek, made a violin for Kevin. Wah, 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 wah. Now we're going to have to make a little violin player to hold it. So he can play. So when he's hanging around, we can play him the violin. Oh, I'm a little 1 by 1 guy, so I'm going to have to screw him to a board. Was watching Jordy's latest video. His latest on his greatest wood carving thus far, I think was his last one, right? Yep. Yep, I seen that. He's yelling at me. You don't leave me no comments anymore, Just Carve Rob. Well, I'm trying to watch them on my TV and I can't leave comments from my TV. So these guys are only 3 inches tall, made out of a piece of 1 by 1. Hey, Grandpa. My little thug guys I'm carving out a piece of 1 by 1. 1 by 1 by 3 inches is how big they are. But I got a 6-inch piece here, so I can get a 2-for-1 deal. 1 block of wood, 2 neuters. Yeah, I've known Jordy for a while now. Where's my dang pencil? Can never find that pencil when I need it. It's like it knows it's needed and it doesn't. It disappears. I got a different pencil. What do we have? Yaz Minded. We'll just call you Yaz. Hello, Yaz. Oh, you're doing a sitting gnome? That's cool. Yeah, he got me started too, Jordy. Oh, that is a mouthful there. That's your full real name? Woo. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce it. I'd murder it to death. Hey, Carving fusions in the house and a mouse. We got a mouse in here bouncing around some doggone place. Just some rough dimensions. Super rough. Normally, what I do is take a 3-inch block wood and divide it by three, so you'd have 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch, and I'd say we're pretty doggone close to those dimensions. One by one by one by one by one by one. One by one divided by three. Wow, if that line got off. It's all right. It'd be all right. It'd be all right. Might as well put some center lines in. If we're gonna get this block all dirty, we might as well do it right, right? I think Yaz is thinking. Got a wheel going there, whatever that's all about. I don't know if he froze up or okay, so that's your basic layout. Split the block in half, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. Oh, it's her. She's froze up. Morocco. Isn't that where the Humphrey Bogart movie was? Can you tilt down so carving? Oh, well, then I can't see the. Okay. How about if I scoot forward? No, no, you must see it through the comments. Casablanca. Here's looking at you, sweetheart. Of all the bars in all the world and all the places, you had to be in this bar. I think Indiana Jones got in some trouble in Morocco too, didn't he? When he was searching for the skull. I guess tomorrow at 2 o'clock, uh, Sticks and Stones and Perry the Wood Carving Wizard are going to be doing a live at 2 o'clock. You're shy now? I'll be live at 2 o'clock as well. She's two. Shy, shy, 'cause shy, shy, she's too shy, shy, 'cause shy. You live stream too? Good. All right. I guess we'll start off with the head. There he is, the troublemaker, Perry the carving wizard. I hear you and Sticks and Stones are going live together tomorrow, Perry, at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Well, I might have a issue at 2 o'clock. I can't remember if I was supposed to go someplace tomorrow at 2 o'clock or if I was supposed to go there at 2 o'clock on Sunday. So I called the person at and left them a message. They're at work. What day I was supposed to be there. But yeah, if I'm around here at 2, I'll go live with you guys. Yaz is showing off on her live streams. I've never seen one of them. What do you wood carve too, Yaz? Is that what you're live streaming? No, well, if you don't wood carve, what do you do? What do you live stream? Oh, you do drawings? Cool. Man, I wish I could draw. I've tried and tried and tried, and all I get is some real ugly stick people. No one joins. What do you like to draw? I am an artist in the eighth. I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Eighth year, eighth grade, eighth day. You draw in eighths. Realistic cats. I carve realistic foxes. Oh, she's only 8 years old. Okay, she's only 8. Uh, you know this channel is not meant for children, correct? It does have content of some sort. I don't know yet. We never know until we get rolling. All right. So we got the top kind of rounded over. Did I do it again? Oops, I did it again. I cut it too short. Now where are going to be my ears? So let's say our Our ears are going to be lined up with our eyebrow. Ears are lined up with the eyebrows. Hey, I carved a new guy on my dragon stick. We carved I gotta slide back here a little bit because it's the thing is a cane, you know. We carved the Hector, then we carved another Hector, and then we went back to the just carved Rob Wood Spirit. You guys see that? Well, that's good. The Hector stick. Well, yeah, no. Look at this. Look at this, Yaz. I carved a pickle. Pickle. I signed him on the butt. Long live the Hector pickle. All right, back to this. Um, so if this is where the top of our head or our hat's going to be, just in case anybody's interested, it's about it is about a boot, 3/8 of an inch down. And then we're going to say that we're going to split that in half and say the nose is going to be right in there somewhere. The hat may go up a little. Okay. Because that's for a figure this size, that's a pretty high hat. It's a pretty big hat. Because if you look at this guy, I guess that's it's a little bit low on the hat thing. Depends on what you want to do with it. I always start off making the stuff longer than it needs to be. Not really. I just kind of eye it up. I usually put the lines on for everybody. So our hat is 3/8 of an inch from top to this line. Then we went up 1/8 of an inch and then brought it back on an angle down here. And then this will be the bottom of our ear is even with the bottom of our nose. Now, these are all general references. Not everybody looks like this. Just it's a general thing. Yeah, I've been stuck on subs myself, and I'm thinking about cutting back on the lives. To 1 day a week. And then up again here, we'll drop it another 16th of an inch. So the hat is tilted backwards, right? Yep, hit the bell, share, subscribe, and like all that YouTube stuff. I don't think we're gonna see baby kisses here. I think she does the grandkids baseball or softball or something like that. I think she was saying. Have to ask Jordy whatever happened to that kid. Um, what was his name? He was a young feller. Jordy was kind of his sponsor. Calvin, I think his name was Calvin. Calvin Carbs. He was I don't think he was probably 10 or 12 years old. Jordy was helping him out. You remember him too, Perry? It's cold and rainy here today. Well, it's rainy. It's kind of cold too, though. I guess we're gonna give this guy like a golf hat. I was gonna do like a backwards bandana type thing, but it's speaking to me saying golf hat. Thank you. Jordy's the artist. Now, the other way you could do this is by coming in and just coming down to there, cut in, and then cut back like that, and that will give you your body shape. Or you can just so you get your sides committed. Get rid of that point, and then that's what you get there. Yeah, you got to study for your test. That's important. Now I'm gonna have his feet kicked off to the side like this guy here, so you can see how that's gonna work out, right? Now we could leave his face between those two lines there, or if we wanted to give him a beard, we would have left more here. And then this guy is not gonna have a beard, so guess I need to come up underneath there and clean that up some more. All right, and we can start bringing the shoulders in. Like that. That's why it's important to have these center lines in here so you know whereabouts you're at. It also helps you regulate your size width here. See, I've taken everything back to the center lines. On this here, we brought it back to the center line this way. The center line will give us our ear placement, and then our feet will be. I come up about a quarter of an inch for my. Yeah, it'll save you a lot of time. You don't have to keep, "Oh, man, is it right? Is it right? Am I balanced?" Um, the lines give you the in and the out of it all. And there you go. There's a little guy. Starting to look like a little guy. I'm gonna come right from that middle mark, right up the back, just like that. And that's all I'll do for that do with this for right now, as far as I would call that the rough in. It gives you the basic geometrical, shapes on almost every little guy. And if you look at this guy, you can see it if you look at him. You can see it start, and you can see how his ears are out past his hat, and this guy's ears are gonna be out past his hat. Now here from here, you can give him bigger ears or smaller ears or no ears or however you like to do it. I'm just gonna round this around here a little bit, just to get up underneath that hat. Man, this is a chippy piece of wood. It's being a little chippy. Where's my violin? Gotta play the violin for myself now. Wah, 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 wah. This is Kevin's violin. Wah, 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 wah. Have to play it for myself. Hi, baby kisses. No baseball game tonight? Raining here. Woo, it's really raining now. I can hear it hitting the roof out here. And that's why we're not outside tonight, today. Oh, you're shopping. Oh, that's just so much better fun. I think I'd rather go to the baseball game. Shopping is the bane of my existence. I like to eat. I don't like to shop. It's the only thing COVID did for us. Now all I gotta do is go online, go to Walmart, and I can order all my stuff on the Walmart app. And all I gotta do is drive over there and park in the little numbered parking spot and say, "Okay, people, I'm here. Bring me my food." Now for my nose width, I'm gonna go half of my half. and that's still gonna give him a pretty decent sized nose. Hmm, that don't look right. Well, I guess it is right though. So then I'm gonna just come a little bit of an angle right there, angled out away from the nose. I don't want to undercut the nose. Looks like I have to move the center of the nose over just the fuzz. To move your nose around, you just take more off one side or the other. And you can see you get a line, right? If your nose isn't looking exactly center to you, that's how you can wiggle it. Wiggle your nose. Like you move your center line back and forth a little bit. So then I'm going to go like that from where we chipped it because that gave us our width. Now this will give us our angle. I'm leaving about an eighth of an inch at the top between where the triangles meet. Okay. Now there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can push down and cut it, or you can depends on where your eyebrows are going to be. So let's come down under the hat about 1/16 of an inch. And I'm just going to draw two lines right there. Okay. Then we're going to do we're just going to do a chip cut. We're going to angle the blade out that way, and on this side that way. Okay. So then I'm going to go, let's do this first. Now on the top one, I'm going to be angling the blade down like that. Okay. So on the top one, I'm going to come right to that corner mark where our eyebrow is, and I'm going to go deep. But remember, I got the blade angled toward me. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to have the blade angled outward from the nose. And that way there, we know we're not going to get any undercuts on our nose, right? Then at the corner of the nose, we're just going to pop that chip right out of there. Just like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm angling the blade toward me a little bit. I'm going right up there in the corner and I'm going to go deep. And then same thing here. I'm angling the blade that way, away from the nose. And we'll bring it in deep, just like that. Now remember, when your blade gets stuck in there, just let it go back. Don't try to stop, because what ends up happening is your reflex, you stop and push forward and you don't even realize you're doing it. Then we go from the corner of the nose right up there to the corner of that eye, or where that eye is going to be. And then we just clean it up a little bit like that. Then I'm going to take my pencil, I'm going to draw a line about a heavy eighth of an inch up from the bottom, right? Like that. Then what you can do is take your knife. There again, you're going to keep it angled away from the nose. You can make a little scoop there, like that. Then we do it on the other side. A little scoop up to the corner, like that. That out of there. All about the angles. That's right. I see where most people make their biggest mistake, like when they're doing a nose, is they'll go in straight or they'll turn the knife inward, and that will undercut the nose in a major way. And what that does is it gives you your nostril flares, right? Like that. Get that chip out of there. I always have a problem with this side for some reason or another. Now you can go ahead and get fancy and bring it down, bring it around like that. Or on these little guys, you can just leave it like that. See how I bought this one around and down. And all that requires is that line you drew in there, just make a little cut. And don't go deep. And you can see that brings that nostril flare right out. So it's no fancy mechanics to it. Basically, you're just going to follow the little bit, that little notch you put in there. You're going to put your pencil right in the corner of that little notch. And then you're just going to bring it around and check with your other side. Make sure you got this distance from the center of your nose to that nostril flare there, about the same. They don't got to be exact. And same thing, I'm going to angle my knife away from the. Oh, I just chopped his nose off. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Hey, it happens. So at this point, what we should do is put a little super glue on that nose. That's the name of the game when you're playing with wood. It will happen to you, especially on these little things. These little guys, man. Oh no, am I out of super glue? Oh no. Oh no. I've been using the super glue a lot lately. Or is it just plug? I can see super glue in the nose. How about we take this little burr here and see if that nozzle's open? The nozzle's open. Maybe I'm just out of super glue. Now I can see a little bit there, doggone you. There we go. Must have a little. I'm going to go ahead and put some on the other side too, just to make sure it doesn't. This side don't chip off on me as well. I gotta get another big bottle of super glue. I guess I could use Jordy Johnson's name over there at Starbond and get me 10% savings. I think Jordy's an affiliate. I know Sean Penn's an affiliate of Starbond. Are you an affiliate of Star, Perry? Oh, Jane's here. Hi, Jane. I know Jordy's an affiliate, and I know Sean Brooks is an affiliate. No, Perry's not an affiliate. And I know oh, what was that guy's name? I think he's one of the affiliates. Cleve's Backyard Woodworking. He just kind of disappeared. What's your code for Cutsall, Perry? I know mine's just carve. Now we gotta wait for the glue to dry. Yeah, look it up. Put it on the screen. I guess you gotta go to the person's page now, don't you? I really haven't messed with it in a long, long time. Last time I knew I had like $75 in affiliate money that I never claimed, so Cuts all got to keep their money. Carving Wizard. Now, do they have to go to your page? Because I know they were linking it to the pages. Okay. I remember getting an email something about they were going to start linking it to your page, so you had to go from that person's page to get the 5% savings. You have a ULR. Well, use Carving Wizard at checkout if you buy Cutsall burrs. I like Cutsall burrs. I have quite a few. I have quite the collection of them, actually. I've got both sets of the details. I got the coarse and the fine, and I've got the course. I've got the different flame burrs: the fine, the coarse, the extreme, and we got some detail burrs. We got a bullnose burr, coarse. We got some. We got quite a few Cutsall burrs here. I personally find I personally like the knife carving myself, but you don't have to. Basically, everything I do here with a knife, you can do with a Dremel. Now I'm angling this back a little bit more here, so we're going past the original 45-degree angle. I'm going past that. I'm going to bring that all the way down to almost the edge of my hat because we got to cut these ears back, right? They're right now. If I was to make that an ear, well, let's cut it out and see. So we go from the corner forward, and then come back and take that chip out. You can see that's the beginning of the ear, right? But then we'd have to come along here where our nose is, and then that would be the actual ear right here. In a rough manner of speaking, anyway. I find that, and I don't know why this is, but the wood carving with a knife lowers my anxiety for some reason. And then we just bring that right on up to the jaw, something like that there. Then we do the same thing on this side. Basically, we're bringing this angle up to where I cut that eye line in. So I'm going to flatten my angle out because unless the more you want your ears to stick out, the less you want to angle it, right? And a gouge works really good on this too. See, so now we're at our eye line here and here. And if you want to push them ears back a little bit more, you can just run your knife right alongside your face there and then bring it right in there. Same thing on this side. Jordy reminded me to keep my carving above the comments like that. And you can see you're starting to get some distance here between here and here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. So he's already starting to look like a little dude. Now, I normally don't do too much back here yet because of, if you get going too crazy, you won't have no room for hair, is what I'm trying to get at. Clean up that top edge. See, that's what I was saying when I was cutting this hat in before. If you want your ears um, to be downward and you will cut your hat in, if you're coming up like this to cut your hat in, um, your ears will end up lower than your hat a little bit. It's all up to you. So from this point, your jaw usually is right at the bottom of your earlobe. So I always go back a little bit more because I know I'm going to be uh, I'm going to be messing around with this ear a little bit more. So I just 45 it like that. And then you can take your knife and take out another one of those wedges like that. And that gives you your jaw. And then you can play around with whatever style jaw you want. So I'm going to come straight down from here, and then I'm going to come over here at that 45, and hopefully that chip comes out of there, which it's arguing with me right now. Might have to come back in this way and cut it on a little bit of an angle. There we go. Like that. And then starts setting you up for your hair. And now my hat's in the way here. Looks like this ear can come back a little bit more. Wood's a little bit flaky here. I'll do the same thing on this side. And look at it from the top, check our angles. They look about right. Do a little swoopty swoopty over here. like that. And then we can round that hard edge over. Do that on both sides. Like that. And that separation between your jaw and your hair in the back. And then you can set your hair however long you want it. This is just a reference line, not written in stone anywhere. I always like putting a little line in there. And then we can come around the back side of the ear. And I'm just going to put a straight line in right here for now. I don't want to thin that ear out until after I get the hollow part of the ear put in. And I usually do that with a small U gouge. Just scoop that out. And then I'm going to come over here and just put a little notch in, separate the ear from the head. I'm going to come right by that ear and pop a chip out. We'll do the same thing on this side, right by the ear. And what that's doing is giving us the temple. And then you can always come back in, and if you need to move a eye, back a little bit more. And then I'll do that trick again to even them out. Now on this guy, because he's so small, I don't even know if I'm going to try putting eyes in him. You can just make your own decision on that one. You can just go in real deep along each side of the nose. And now they're looking about the same. You can just go in deep alongside the nose and hollow that out. And then you can, well, I want to round this cheek out first before I do any monkey business here with the fake eye to fake the eyes. Just going to round that over a little bit. And then you can come in and, are we done with this nose? Yeah, I think that's sticking out. But you can always come in, and if you want your nose a little bit deeper, just recut that on both sides. And then come alongside of it. You just scoop that out a little bit there. Like that. And then like that. Hey, Pete Blair, how you doing, Pete? And what that does is when you dig the corners in, it brings your nose out further. Do the same thing on this side. Cut that little chip out of the corner like that. Well, that's the great thing about having this stuff on video. You can stop it and carve, and then go back and carve. Of course, I'm going to tell you that so I get more viewing time. Okay, just come in there with a little white paint if you want to put an eye in. Alec Lacasse taught me this trick here. You can just dig into the corner and put a little V cut in there to make it look like, well, Kevin too, but Alex at first. Alec Lacasse was the first one I've seen do this. So I'm sure it's not his trick. I'm sure it's just a trick. When he started doing the little one by ones, making little people, before he started putting eyes in them. But then again, he wasn't doing little people when he's putting eyes in them. He was making them, he's just doing a face the full size of that, which is a lot bigger than a face that's smaller than my thumb, right? So that's up to you whether you want to try to carve eyes in there. I think it just give me a headache. But you could do that right there and then bring the line up, and that would give you a little eye. If you just let's go ahead and do it like that. And then you come back this way and just round that corner over. Just to give you a real simple little eye. You can come back and round those corners over. Just take a little chip off of them. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it's not working. It's not working for me here today. Okay. And that'll give you a little eye that you can just paint and put a black dot in and call it good. Then you got to get this side to match that side. So that's where the eyes for me start getting a little complicated when you got to start making them look the same. Then we can come back right here in that corner and just do a little scoop. Terrible, terrible piece of wood here. It's not wanting to do anything I want it to do. Sooner or later, I'll run out of this Amazon wood and I can get back to that sweet Heineke wood. What did I say? We're not doing eyes on this guy. And what am I doing? Sitting here doing an eye on him. And of course, you can sit there and monkey around with this for an hour to get the eyes the way you want to get the eyes. And then you can go ahead and put a check in there like that. And another one here. I went a little deep. Did the same thing on the other side. And that will give you your crow's feet like that. And this is the problem you have when you start carving eyes on these little guys, man. Look, just a little bit of a cut there can change the whole size of the eye. Good enough. Good enough. Stop messing around. You're wasting everybody's time messing around with these stupid eyes. Good enough. I keep saying good enough, and I keep going back to them. And I'm coming right in front of that ear, and I'm just making a swoop cut in like that. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Try to get them to look copacetic. Around that jaw over a little bit more. You, man, I really took that side down. Well, we'll do the same. Just dig it in there a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty close. Close enough, I think. You got his nose poking out there pretty good. Eyes are about the same depth set back in there. Ears are looking about the same. Hair's looking about the same. Around that jaw over. Or chin, I should say chin. And go around behind that jaw. The lower part of the jaw there, and Get that chip taken out. That's why I do that. The big block cutout, it's harder to do on these when you're cutting it from the corner because it's you got to try holding it like that, right? Plus, doing it on the corner gives you a little more width this way, so you can get away with some more stuff. I can't type any day, so don't feel bad, Perry. My typing, if you see me typing on a keyboard, looks like two chickens fighting. They call me chin fingers in the secretarial pool. I don't even think they have secretarial pools anymore. Now it's just computers. Just computers. This is about all this stuff. All this piece of wood is good for is scratching on the big scratching post. Ooh boy, I'll tell you what, that super glue toughened that up pretty good. I'm just going back up something I learned from the Hectors. Going back up in there and just bringing that nose and cleaning it up, right? Get to clean up so all them. It's hard to get that with a knife. Maybe a longer knife. Ugh, a whole lot less control, I can tell you that. Looks a whole lot more scratchy. It'll be all right. We just take that knife and sweep it through there and clean all that garbage up. Then we can come back down here. I'm scooping that jaw in just a little bit more. I want to thin the space out. Want a different face than one of our last guy. I mean, we got a face that looks like that, and we got a face that looks like that, kind of a round face. So this is going to be another member of the Thug Gang. So I want to give him a different looking face. His is going to be a little bit narrower. Somebody's out there playing with their motorcycle in the rain. Dirt biking it up, they are. just angling the wing of that nose. Make sure our glues are gonna hold on there. And come back over on this side, do the same thing. I know it's hard to see that little tiny face. I'm just trying to curve that nose in a little bit more. Cutting through that glue is something else. All right, so we can go ahead and flatten that, get that chin cut back in there a little bit. And I'm gonna make a swoop up under the nose here. Want my chin in my mouth is gonna be, and I'm gonna come into that corner. And we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom. Do the same on this side, come into that, and you can make this straight, or it all depends on what kind of mouth you want to give them. And then this is how I put the mound for the mouth in. It's right off that smile line right there. And then I just round that over. That'll also make your nose pop out further too as you're moving along here. You can see we cut the smile lines in. I hope you guys can see that. Let me put some pencil in there. This is gonna make my carving way dirty. That's the smile lines we cut in. If I can get that little bit of fuzz right there. Now I'm gonna take the bottom of the nose and go up a little bit with it on both sides, so his nose isn't so flat. Looks like this side needs to come up a little bit more. You can also set that before you even carve the nostrils in. You can go ahead and angle those corners up of the nose. If you want to, if you don't want to, if you want it just to be a straight nose, just leave it straight. Try to keep this part pretty even though. Otherwise, it'll mess your mouth all up. I'm just rounding that chin over, and it looks like we're ready for the mouth. And you can, by changing the angles of your jawline, it really changes the look of the face. And same way with bringing the temples in. Looks like this one needs to come over on a little bit more of an angle up into there. This needs to be cleaned up a little bit more over here. Something like that there. Out of there. Come on, man. That's looking all right. Wow, see that just chipping? Makes it rough. Makes it rough when the wood doesn't want to cooperate with you. Right there seems to be some broken grain. Looks like one of them old farmer hats when it was high, like the old engineer hat. All the farmers that I grew up uh, with, for some reason, they always wore them like an old engineering hat. Well, nothing I can do about that chip. Just have to let it slide. All right. So Let's bring that back into focus here. We'll do the same thing with this side. All right. It's going to clean up that smile line a little bit. Clean up this side. Well, I say clean them up. I'm making them deeper, making them stick out more or stick in more, however you want to look at it. And I'm going to round up to that cheek. Right up to the eye. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Start just under that nose. Round that right up to there. Looks like I need to take a little bit more off of here. Just trying to keep that face width about the same on both sides. All right. Now I can go ahead and take a gouge and just come in here and dig the ear out. Not going crazy with it. Just so that you can tell it's there, right? Take our knife, go back, clean that up. Like that. Nothing super secret about that. Now I'm just rounding the back side over a little bit, and I'll come over here and do this side. See if this side wants to play nice now. It does help that I just sharpened this too. But you gotta watch out when you get into these areas because it will just rip a big old chunk right out of there. If the grain doesn't want to cooperate, um, I know I've had it where it doesn't want to cooperate, and I'll just take a ball in the micromotor and clean it up. Because a lot of times when you're cutting cross grain like that, it doesn't take much to rip the ear up. And you'll get the grain, especially on these little pieces, you'll get grain where it's like loose stack straws. It doesn't matter how much you fight and try cutting it in, it just seems to fray apart on you. So don't be discouraged. It's not you, it's the wood. And then you see how we made the after we scooped that out, we made them little downward cuts right to the where we cut the temples in. Trying to even my hat up a little bit. It don't matter really. I'll tell you what does matter. This dull. This knife is dull. Let's try a flex cut knife. I don't use that 2-inch knife that often. So when I'm sharpening my carving knives, that poor little guy there usually gets neglected. Man, none of these knives cut as good as this just carve off knife. This is the cat's meow for me anyway. Somebody else might get it and say, "Man, that is the biggest piece of crap I've ever handled." I got 2 more of these I just made blades for. I think one of them's been spoke for by Perry. And I know Sal wanted one. All right, let's go ahead and draw the mouth on here. I'm not going to give him a smile. Give him a little bit of a frowny mouth. You made another Hector, huh? Cool. Kevin told me 2 o'clock. But I don't know if I have to have a thing to do tomorrow or Sunday. Hopefully it's Sunday. Got our brass brush here to get some of the help rip some of the fuzzies out of this guy. My goodness. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. All right. So now we got our little face and our little eyes and a little piece of fuzz right there. Wire brush does a good job of getting rid of a lot of that stuff. Yep, you don't want to go carving with a dull knife. I've been using this poor little guy so much he's yelling at me. I can see he's starting to leave scratches in the wood. So we're gonna have to strop him real quick. Oh yeah, I can feel some burrs on there. Hey, I like power carving, not as much as I like knife carving. If I got something I got to get done, like that little gnome in the stump, it wasn't on my radar to get it done, but because I wanted to get it done and get it to the guy, I used a little cordless chainsaw and my Arbortech, and then we carved it. I think we did some lives on it. Oh yes, much better. All right, so now we can go ahead and take the back part of this ear out, and that's just going to be another wedge cut. And hopefully we don't chop the ear off. I have been known to do that in the past. Go too far in and or go in on the wrong angle and chop the whole ear right off. I have been known to do that. So you got the angle of your ear, then you'll kind of want to stay thick on these for right now. And not a lot of pressure, because I'll tell you what, it does not take a lot of pressure to pop an ear off. It takes less pressure to take an ear off than it does to take a nose off. And we know we're low on super glue, so we better be a little careful. We might need our super glue for fingers. Now I definitely got to buy some more super glue. How am I going to glue myself back together? Man, a lot of people have been going live, huh? Every time I turn around, somebody's popping up live, except Roy. Roy's in Portugal. I think he said he'll be back Saturday. The other morning, I'm like, "Where's Roy?" I usually have my cup of coffee and listen to Roy. Come to find out, he went to see his new grandbaby over in London, and somehow he wound up in Portugal. I'm sure it was his wife GPS giving him directions. His wife GPS somehow steered him from England into across the ocean into Portugal. I don't know how far away that is, but he must have one of them Volkswagen vans that's watertight. Turn right. Turn right. You need a passport. Turn right. 1,000 miles from England to Portugal. I could have drove that. I doubt they got a ferry that goes from England to Portugal, though. He either had to take an airplane or his Volkswagen with oars. His little Volkswagen bus with oars. I don't know if Roy has a Volkswagen. I'm just rambling. I could see it though. Roy firing up his Dremel powered trolling motor in his little Volkswagen bus. What are you doing, Roy? Far from thinking. Remember the old Volkswagen commercial? They always had that German word far from Nugen, far from Fugen, whatever the heck it was. I remember in school we used to call yeah, that shows you how long ago that commercial was. Woo, that was a long time ago. What do you get when you buy a Volkswagen? Far from thinking. Back when I was a young critter, you didn't want any Volkswagens. The price for parts was crazy. But since China started making all the parts, they got less. You know, a little swoop cut there up to the back of the shoes. Okay, center line. Where's my pencil? Center line right there. Now we have to decide what we're going to do with the rest of them because we know from here down it's pants. That's our other center point, right? Right. At this point, you could put them in a cloak or if you would have gave them more of a wizard head. Oh, we didn't do the mouth yet, did we? No, Rob, you didn't do the mouth yet. Okay, let's get that taken care of real quick. We're just trying to follow that pencil mark over. Now I got the line cut in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the corner here, right where we got that line. I'm going to take a little chip out right there on both sides. Maybe. And what that does is it sets our upper lip to be over our lower lip. Right? Right. Okay. You got that? You got that, Perry? And then after we cut our line in, we can come just down from that line where we're going to have the chin. And we can cut in a couple little cuts there. Oh no. Oh no, I broke it. It's all right. It'll be all right. We just got to do this. We got to break it evenly. We got to break it evenly here. That's okay. The lower lip's supposed to be under the upper lip anyway. I like that better anyway. Gives them a totally different look. But this is where you have to be with these little guys. This is where you have to be super, super careful with your cuts. If you're careless, like just carved Rob is, that's what happens. And that little cut that we put in on each corner here also gives you a good dead stop for your chin. So now back to our original cut for our mouth. I'm just trying to get in there and angle up a little bit, just enough to take a little slice out of there that I am failing miserably at. So easy to break stuff off when you're going into the microcosm of wood carving. My hand would stop shaking. This poor guy looks like he had a stroke. All right, so he's kind of got one side of his mouth turned down, but I really don't want to dink around with it anymore because I know the more cuts I put in there, the weaker I'm making the wood, and the weaker I'm making the wood, the easier it is for it to just blow apart on me. So I'm just going to leave him. Yeah, you keep saying you're just going to leave him and you keep cutting, Rob. But I got that chip. I finally got it. Woohoo! I can't bring him up close to the camera, but I can bring the zoom in on it for you. Every time I bring him up by the camera, he ends up going blurry. Now it's harder for me to. I got one eye on the carving and one eye on the camera. I learned from the Hectors. The deeper you get these lines in, the more shadows you get, and the better, I think, the better he looks. Man, I should have my microscopic glasses on right now so I can see. That would be terrifying if I could actually see what the heck I'm doing here. One eye's bigger than the other. Well, now we know why he went bad, because he's got crooked eyes. He's such a bad guy. His eyes are even crooked. I think that's as good as he's going to get, my friends. I say that and I keep cutting. Keep cutting, Rob. Just keep cutting. I'm going to try to get you guys on camera. And I'm going to make this little bit of a cut right here. And what's that going to do for me, you ask? Well, that, I'm going to zoom back out here in a second, is going to increase the size of our orange orange seed shaped eyes, or at least that's what it was supposed to do. Now you could see I gave it a little more eye right there, right in there, like doing that little cut down there. And of course, we have to come back and counter that cut with that cut to make that eye bigger. And then we can come back in here, trying to keep you guys in the camera here. And by cutting up and in, we can start to even those eyes out. I think that's as good as he's going to get. He's just going to be a little crazy eyed. Since we weren't going to put eyes in him, I guess that's as good as he's going to get. All right, I got to zoom back out because we are getting all over. Perry's Emporium has showed up, huh? We got the Perry. Oh man, we got the Perrys here. When I touched my screen, it stopped the it stopped the what do you call it? The chat. So there you go. Oh wow, we've been working at this for 114 friggin' minutes. No wonder my back is locking up on me. Well, I didn't think we would get the whole guy done tonight, but I wanted to get at least get the face in them for you. And there's a lot. If you got the patience and small enough tools and an eyeglass magnifier, you can do this too. Just making some little swoop cuts on the bill of the hat. Now you can see it's starting to turn from a golf style hat into your basic baseball trucker hat type thing. But I'm not going to go full baseball trucker hat. I'm going more engineering hat. I'm sure Pete has a couple of those engineering hats. I could just see Pete wearing an engineering hat for some reason. Probably because he's a mad scientist. Got the engineering hat and the goggles and all that. Well, I got all my guys. I got oh, it probably look better than this one, Perry. Yours would probably look better than this one. I sold my first hectare yesterday. Landmark for me is actually selling a carving. Anybody that's been around for a while knows that I don't normally sell carvings. There just ain't a market for them. Not around here anyway. Yeah, oh, that made a world of difference right there. Oh, look at that. Look what that did. That really poked them ears out of there. Yeah, I usually just leave them in Walmart parking lot. Not these guys though. I got a plan for these guys. These are going to be my thugs. We're going to make a thug hideout and everything. Yep. Here it is right here. Got that for my first hectare. Sold my first hectare right there. 5 George Washingtons or 1 Abe Lincoln. Woo! Send them to Canada, he says. On the next Walmart shipment. Right now, I got a lot of them hanging. Flat elf over there. And we got a Grinch Kevin over there. We got Ronald Reagan with blonde hair over there. So yeah, I put magnets in a lot of them. I got a couple of them hanging on the door too. The door going into the shop. Yeah, we were doing the magnet thing. Now, if my tripod will cooperate. All right. So that's what this thug guy is looking like. Now we're probably gonna give him the same outfit, but you can tell the difference between them, right? You can tell they're not the same guy. They're different guys. You can see that they're different guys, different hats, different. That doggone chip is bugging me right there. Oh well. So we got 3. We got 2 enforcers and the main boss man. Now we got 3. We're getting a gang. We got 3. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They look kind of like the old mafia gang from Chicago. This guy here is Charlie Cheeks. Big Boss Benny. And Larry, the Lefty Larry. You guys got to think up some new names. I'm running out of names. They all they look like Elmer Fudd. Oh, well, this guy might look a little bit like Elmer Fudd. I thought a wabbit. It wasn't a wabbit. It was a fox. It wasn't a wabbit. Up, up. Now they're jumping off the friggin' wall. They all want to be on camera. Oh yeah, we got the violin for when we go live with Kevin. I got to carve a little bow for it. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, a case for my violin. Wah, wah. Hey, if I show up at that carving thing tomorrow, there, Perry, you know I'm bringing the violin with me. Wah, wah, wah. I need a little bow for it though. Wah, 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 wah. Hey, Rob, the wheels on the lighter could use for a machine gun. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be hard to carve an old Tommy gun. Anytime you start getting this small, it's hard carving though. I can tell you. Can you imagine carving a little machine gun smaller than that? Oh my. Yeah, Kevin's quick. That happens when you carve it 13 of them though. You get quick. Especially if he's doing cottonwood bark. Holy. That's why you see me get a jump start on him last week. I had the guy all drawn out and everything. And then we changed the design. I already carved the strings in it. It's got little strings carved into it. Once it's all painted up, I'm gonna run over it with the micro motor to maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it rough folk art. Rough folk art. Yeah, I was just screwing around. This was just a little cut off piece from something else. Last night I wasn't feeling it, you know. He just wasn't feeling carving one of these guys. I've had this block of wood here for 3 days. And I just wasn't feeling it. If I'm not feeling it, I am not doing it because I know the carving's gonna come out like crap. So tonight, after I got home from the doctor's, I'm like, well, live or shouldn't I go live? Jordy said, you should go live. So live we went, and here we are when we could be bitching and sitting at the bar. So there's our face. I think that's as far as we're going to go with it tonight. That's 125 minutes. Ooh, you guys should be getting bored of me by now. And we'll give him a jacket, and he'll probably end up with kind of like the same outfit as this guy, hands in the pockets, that kind of stuff. This guy had feet like this guy, but I was making a cut and snapped the foot off. So I'm like, do I want to glue it back on, or do I just want to give this guy little feet? So he got little feet. He got little feet. We're gonna call him. Gonna have to change his name to Shortfoot Steve or something. And I'll end up doing a scene of these guys. You know, I'm not. You know me. I'm not big on the doing the whole scene thing. But we'll do. I'm gonna do a couple more of these guys, and we'll probably be doing waddles. Willie Waddles. Willie Waddles right here. Uh, yeah, you guys come up with names and we'll carve them and name them. Yeah, I got a good deal on 1x1 blocks on Amazon, so I think I got like 30 of them for $17 or something. But we'll end up making some of these guys, a couple more of them at least, because you got to have a gang, right? You got to have a gang. 3 is not a gang. 5 is a gang. And then we'll carve some of those. We'll make guys like this, but we'll put them tall, stupid bobby hats like they have over in England. You know, we got to make some cops. If we got the mob, we got to have the cops. All right. Thank you much, Jazz. Oh, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do a series of these guys. These little. I got to burn up this 1x1 wood. Is what it comes down to. I gotta get rid of it. Get it done. Get it gone. Right. So we can move on to this wood. Ooh, that's good wood. This wood. Ooh, that's some good wood too. We'll get into this good. We're gonna get into this good basswood, and that's gonna be it for Just Carve Rob. He ain't gonna be able to carve this Amazon wood no more. So, and he can't afford a lot of that good basswood. So that'll be that. No more Just Carve Rob. All right. Thanks for coming by, guys. I appreciate you. Um, in the words of my friend Larry at Wowie's Workshop, there is no YouTube without you. All right. All right. All right, Spike. All right. Stay awesome. Carve something awesome. Be awesome. And we will catch you guys on the next one. All right, Jordy Johnson? All right. All right, Perry's? The Perry's? All right. All right, Spike? All right. Take care, and we'll see you later. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, Carving Wizard. Bye.